Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to solve a numerical based upon the bracket connection of type 1. So let's start. Now the question statement says that design a bolted bracket connection to transfer an end reaction of 300 kilonewton with an eccentricity of 170 millimeter due to factored load as shown in the figure. The steel used here is of grade Fe410 and we need to use 20 mm diameter of the bolts of grade 4.6. The thickness of the bracket plate that is used for the connection that has been provided as 10 mm and the column section is ISHB 200 at 365.91 Newton per meter strength. Now, first of all, we will write down the data that has been given to us and we will input the data corresponding to the different sections. So the data that has been given to us, that is the grade of the steel, that means the ultimate strength of the steel elements is 410 megapascal. Now corresponding to the bolt grade of 4.6, the ultimate strength of the bolt, it will be 400 megapascal. So these are the two important data that are to be used here. Other than that, the partial factor of safety for the bolt material that is taken as equal to 1.25. Now corresponding to this column section that we are having, this is ISHB 200 column section. Corresponding to it, we will be having certain properties which are to be taken directly from the handbook. That is Indian Standard Handbook number 1. So corresponding to it, the thickness of the flange that has to be obtained because the flange has been connected with the bracket plate. Therefore, whenever we will be providing the connection, it is important to know the thicknesses of both the members because the thickness of the thinner member has to be taken. So the thickness of the flange that comes out to be 9 millimeter. That is directly from the handbook number 1. Now the diameter of the bolt that has been given to us, that is, now the diameter of the bolt has been suggested to us to take it as 20 millimeter. Now corresponding to it, the diameter of the hole, because this is the bolt, let's say this is the bolt which we have provided, and corresponding to it, the hole which has to be made on the steel element that will be bigger than this, and that's why this d0 is the diameter of the hole, which is the diameter of the bolt plus some clearance. And for bolt diameter of greater than 16 millimeter, we take it as equal to 2 millimeter. Therefore this d0 value will be equal to 22 millimeter. Now corresponding to these values, we will find out the suitable pitch and the edge distances, that means the parameters related to the bolt pattern. Now therefore the pitch distance that is represented by small p, that is given by 2.5 times the d value. Now 2.5 d means 2.5 into 20 and that will be coming out as 50 millimeter. So this is the minimum pitch value that has been obtained from the calculation as 50 millimeter. Similarly, the edge distance that is represented by small e, that is given by 1.5 times of the d0 value. Now this 1.5 times d0, that will be 1.5 into 22, so that will be coming out as 33 millimeter. So let's say we are just rounding them off and let's say we are providing this pitch distance as 35 millimeter and this pitch distance as 60 millimeter. So these are the distances that we will be using in the connection. Now corresponding to it, we need to calculate the net area of the bolt. So whenever a bolt is provided, so this is the assembly of the bolt which is connected to the other plate, and there are threads at the bottom of the section. Therefore, because of the threads present at the bottom, the section area has been reduced, and this is the net area of the bolt, which is calculated by the formula, that is 0.78 pi by 4 into d square. That will not be exactly equal to pi by 4 d square because some area has been reduced because of the presence of the threads. So from here, if we do the calculation for 20 millimeter diameter bolt, we get the value this A and B as 245 square millimeter. Now this is the data that has been given to us, or that has been inferred from the data that has been given to us. Now based upon this, we need to calculate the strength of the bolt. Therefore, now as we can see that this is the column section and this is the bracket plate which is used for the connection. If we are looking at the side view, this is the actual view, this is the column and this is the bracket plate which is used. So we can see that when we are providing the bolt for the connection here, this is the bolt which is provided for the connection. Now load was here, so you can see that there is only one interface between the two steel elements, and that is present between the column flange and the bracket plate. Therefore, the bolts which are provided for the connection, they will be subjected to the single shear. Therefore, we need to calculate the strength of bolt in single shear. Now, since the bolts are in single shear, therefore, this is given by VSB, that is the shear strength of the bolt in single shear. That is given by FUB, that is the ultimate strength of the bolt, a factor to reduce it down, divided by the factor of safety for the bolt material, into the number of shear planes. Because it is single, therefore it will be multiplied by 1 into net area of the bolt. Now from here, if we place all the values, this FUB is 400 root 3 to gamma MB, it is 1.25 into 1 into this A and B value was 245 millimeter square. So from here, if we divide this equation by 1000, then we will be getting this value in kilonewton, and that comes out to be 45.26 kilonewton. So that is the strength of the bolt in single shear. Now since the bolt is connected to the other steel element, therefore we need to calculate the strength of the bolt in bearing also. And the strength of the bolt in bearing, that is represented by VPB, and it is given by the formula, that is 2.5 K. There is some constant value, this is 2.5 KB. D into T is the thickness of the thinner member, into here FU is to be multiplied, which is the minimum value of FU or FUB, and as we know this is lesser for the FUB value, and it is to be divided by the partial factor of safety for the bolt material. Now this KB value, for this the separate calculation has to be done. So this KB value, this is some constant for the bolt, this is minimum of 4 values. So first value is E by 3D naught, second value is P by 3D naught minus 0.25, next value is FUB divided by FU, and the last value is 1. The lesser value of all these 4 values will be taken as the KB value. Now if we place this E as 35, D naught as 22, P value as 60, and FUB as 400 and FU as 410. So from here we get the KB value as minimum as equal to 0.53. So if we place all these values here, then we will get the strength of bolt in the bearing. So that comes out to be 2.5 into 0.53, that is the KB value, into the diameter of the bolt, that is 20, and this thickness, because the thickness of the bracket plate was given as 10 millimeter, the thickness of this plate was 10 millimeter, while the thickness of the flange that we have taken from the hook, that is 9 millimeter. So that means the thickness of the thinner member has to be taken, therefore this value will be taken as 9 millimeter, while the lesser value is corresponding to 400 divided by 1.25, and from here if we calculate this value, that comes out to be around 76.23 kilonewton. Therefore the strength of the bolt will be the minimum of these two values, that is 45.26 and 76.23. Therefore the strength of bolt or the bolt value, that is given by the minimum of these two, that is 45.26 or 76.23. Therefore this BV value, that comes out to be 45.26 kilonewton. That means this much amount of load can be resisted by the single bolt. Now we need to calculate the number of bolts and the number of rows of the bolt for the connection. So let's assume that we are providing the bolts in 2 rows. That has to be assumed. So assuming two rows of the bolts, that means n dash is equal to 2. Now corresponding to this eccentricity and the load, we can transfer this load up to this centroid position, that will be equal to 300 kilonewton. That means the load will be transferred, and corresponding to it a moment will also be transferred, which will be equal to the load value into the eccentricity. So from here, if we calculate the moment, this m will be represented as 170, or this will be load, that is 300 kilonewton, into eccentricity, that is 170. So from here, if we calculate this value, that comes out to be 17,351 and 3 zeros. That value is in kilonewton and this is millimeter. So the unit has to be taken in mind. Now we know an empirical relation for the calculation of the number of bolts in a row. So number of bolts that are to be provided or that will be required in a row for resisting this much amount of movement, that is calculated by the relation that is given by n is equal to square root of 6m divided by n dash into p into the bolt strength or the shear strength. So from here, if we calculate all the values, that comes out to be 6 into m, that we have already taken, that is 51,000 kilonewton millimeter, divided by number of rows are 2, the pitch distance was taken as 60 millimeter, into this value is 45.26. So from here, this kilonewton will be cancelled out and millimeter will also be cancelled out. So from here, the number of volts that we are getting, that comes out to be 7.51. So since we cannot provide half of the bolt, therefore the greater number has to be taken. Therefore we will be providing 8 number of bolts in a single row. Now we know there will be a centroid of this bolt group. So the centroid of the bolt group will be lying at the exact center of the bolt group. That means below the 4 bolts, or we may say that above the 4 bolts, and it will be exactly in between of the bolt line. So that means this will be the center of the bolt group. Now corresponding to it, we need to find out the critical bolt. Now as we have already seen that the critical bolt will be the one which is having the farthest distance from the centroid of the bolt group, and the bolts which are present at the end, that means the bolts which I am highlighting with the green color, these bolts are having the largest distance from the centroid of the bolt group. That means out of these 4 bolts, one will be the critical one. So if I am representing only these 4 bolts, so they may be represented as this, and this is the centroid of the bolt group. That means this hypotenual distance from the centroid of the bolt group to the particular bolt, that is similar for all the 4 cases, because this horizontal distance and vertical distance is similar for everyone. That means this Rn value, that will be same for all the bolts. Now in this case, we need to check the angle. Now for all the volts, this load will be equally distributed. That means we have provided total 16 number of volts. So this 300 load has to be divided by 16 number of volts, so that we get the direct shear force in each bolt. So that will be equal to each other. Now corresponding to the first bolt, this will be the direction of the movement. Therefore this will be the direction of the force which is caused by this movement. Similarly, the bottom bolt, the direct shear force will be in this direction, while the resultant will be in this direction. Similarly, at the bottom bolt, this will be in this direction, while the reaction because of the movement, that will be in this direction. And for the last bolt, it will be in this direction and the reaction will be in this direction. So as we can see, these 2 bolts are eliminated because the angle between them is very large. While for these 2 cases, the angle between them is equal. That means the theta here and theta here will be equal to each other, but the direction of the resultant will be different. So that we will take account. So now to calculate the force on the critical bolt, because we need to check the forces on the critical bolt and then we need to compare with that of the strength of the bolt. So let's say if we are representing this critical bolt by A, therefore the first force, that is the direct shear force, that will be equal to F1, because that has been represented by F1, and that is given by the external reaction divided by the number of volts in both the rows. So the total reaction that is coming onto the connection, that is the 300 kilonewton, while the total number of volts that have been provided, they are 16 in number. Now from here, if we do the calculation, we get this F1 value as 18.75 kilonewton. So this is the F1 value. Now force in the bolt. So this was the first point. Now the second point is the force in the bolt, due to torque, and that is given by F2. That is denoted by F2, and that is given by the formula, that is P into E, that is the moment, into Rn, that is the critical distance, divided by summation of R square. Now corresponding to this summation R square, we need to calculate the R value for each and every bolt. Now these were the connection. So similarly, this type of bolt was present below this line, below the horizontal line, and this is the centroid of the bolt group. Now corresponding to this will be the Rn value. Corresponding to this will be the Rn value. Similarly, this Rn value and the Rn value for the first bolt. That is the critical bolt at position A. Now this R square value will be calculated based upon the connection. Now looking back again at the diagram, we will calculate this Rn value and summation R square value directly from here. So these are the bolt provided in the connection. So if we take a look at the centroid of the bolt group, this will be along these two lines. That means this will be the centroid of the bolt group. Now we know that the critical bolt will be at the four extreme corners of the bolt group. So the corresponding distances between the bolts, that is represented by the pitch distance. So the distance between the respective bolt, that is given by the pitch distance. So that is 60. Again it is 60, and again it will be 60 millimeter. While for this last bolt, which is present above and below the centroid of the bolt group, this will be 30 millimeter and the 30 millimeter, because the centroid will be exactly at half of the distance. So from here, if we calculate this Rn value using the Pythagoras theorem, so this is the horizontal distance between the bolt line and the centroid of the bolt group. So that is given by the vertical distance square plus horizontal distance square. So the horizontal distance is 50 square and the vertical distance is 210, that is 60 plus 60, that is 120, plus 60 180, plus 30, that is 210. So from here, that means this is the total vertical distance of the extreme bolt from the centroid of the bolt group. So from here, if we calculate this Rn value, that is the distance of the critical bolt from the centroid of the bolt group, that comes out to be 215.87 millimeter. Now for calculating this summation R square value, what we do, we usually take the help of the symmetry. So in this case, all the bolts are present at the same distance from the centroid of the bolt group. So that is this value. And similarly, in all the direction, it will be the same distance. So we will be multiplying with the 4 while we are calculating the distances. So the summation R square for the first bolt, the vertical distance is 30, so it will be 30 square, while the horizontal distance still remains 50. So this will be 30 square plus 50 square, plus next is 30 plus 60, that is 90 square plus 50 square, then 150 square plus 50 square, that is the next value, plus 210 square plus 50 square. So that is the total. Now if we add all these values, then we get the result as the 342,400, that is 3,42,400 square millimeter. That is the value of the summation R square. Now if we write down the formula for F2 again, that is the P into E into Rn divided by summation R square. Now if we place all the values here, this P, that is the external load, that is 300 kilonewton, while the eccentricity, that is 170 millimeter, into Rn is 215.87 divided by 342,400, that is square millimeter. So from here, this F2 value that we will be getting, that will be in kilonewton, because the units are cancelled out. So from here, the value that we are getting for the F2, that comes out to be 32.15 kilonewton. So for the critical bolt, that is the bolt A, we have calculated the value F1 and F2 respectively. Now we need to check for the resultant. and then we need to compare the resultant with the strength of the bolt. So that means if we check, this is the critical bolt, this is the F1 value, this is the F2 value which is acting on it because of the movement or the torque which is present on it. Now the angle between these two forces, that is represented by the theta. So this theta is to be calculated, and based upon this we will be writing down the resultant which is because of these two forces. Therefore the resultant which will be acting on the bolt, on the critical bolt, that will be given by the cosine law, and that is given by F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 into cos theta. That is the value of the resultant. So that means the only parameter that is unknown from this equation, that is theta. So that theta has to be calculated based upon the trigonometrical laws. Let's assume that this blue dot that I'm showing, that is the centroid of the bolt group. So that is to be connected with this A value, and this distance was Rn. Now this is the perpendicular, and there will be a certain angle with the horizontal here. Now if we check, this will again be the theta value. Now corresponding to it, all the distances are known to us. So from here, if we calculate this cos theta value, this horizontal distance that was is equal to 50 millimeter, while this vertical distance was 210. So this cos theta value will be the base upon hypotenuse, that is 50 divided by Rn value. So from here, if we calculate this cos theta, can be calculated as 50 divided by this Rn value was 215.87 millimeter. Now from here, this cos theta comes out to be 0.232. Now if we place all the values here, so this R can be calculated as F1 square. So this F1 was calculated as 18.75 its square plus 32.15 its square plus 2 into 18.75 into 32.15 into 0.232, the square root of these values. So from here, the resultant that we are getting because of the two forces present on the bolt, that is on the critical bolt, that is the 40.8 kilonewton. That is the resultant of the two forces acting on the bolt. Now we need to compare it with the bolt strength. It must be less than the bolt strength. That means this is the capacity of the bolt to hold that much amount of force, while the force which is coming onto the bolt because of the connection provided, that is 40.8 kilonewton. And in the earlier step we have estimated the bolt strength, and that was is equal to 45.26 kilonewton. That means it can be said that hence connection that we have provided is safe. So that is all that we need to do in the bracket type connection 1. We need to check for the resultant force which is acting on the bolt, that is on the critical bolt, and corresponding to that we need to compare it with the bolt strength or the bolt value. If that is within the permissible limit, that means the connection that we have provided, it is safe. Now in the next video we will take a look at the numerical based upon the bracket connection type 2. So thank you.